Let's talk about Janelle Bromfield. And let's talk about Pride and Prejudice. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Petaloid World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. You do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here in Petaloid World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, when you're ready, yep, good to go. Well, the truth is, what I'm about to discuss is something that it took me a little time to talk about. Because in some respects, I was embarrassed as a Jamaican, as a man of African descent, as a king, and I thought of, hoped and had expected better. Now, before I say anything, let me say this. I understand that we are a very passionate people, and people are very passionate about track and field. And let's face it, the Paris Olympic Games did not go according to many plans. So there are many persons amongst us as Jamaicans who took this very, very personally. And I get it. I understand. One of the challenges about being human beings is that we tend to want to find someone to blame for any situation. Or more accurately, we would like to find a simple solution to things that are often very complex. The reasons why we didn't do as well at the Paris Olympic Games are too many to get into at this point. But let's say it wasn't one thing. And certainly, it wasn't Janelle Bromfield, apologies. So let's talk about Janelle Bromfield and why I decided to call this Pride and Prejudice. And no, I'm not talking about Jane Austen's book. I'm talking about people causing their pride to lead them to doing things that are pretty much prejudiced. Junelle Bromfield had the opportunity of representing the island of her birth, the island that I'm pretty sure she loves very, very much, where her family comes from, at the Paris Olympic Games in the 400 meters. And the truth is, for her very, very first Olympic Games as an individual athlete, she did okay. But because her current partner, who is Noah Lyles, did better than some would have wanted, I believe she suffered the backlash of some Jamaicans. I won't say many Jamaicans, because you're going to always have people. The loudest, the people who make the most noise tend to be the people who we hear the most. So she shared some of these things that people said to her on social media, and people can be very cruel on social media. I mean, I get it, listen, this was one, you disgusting, sellout, whatever. Thought you lick a black self, stick and stay to Jamaica, but you're not even a Jamaican runner. Now, here's the thing that truly offends me about this statement. And there are other things. People threatened her life, etc. But okay, so let's see where this originated. Now, there were always some Jamaicans who were very uncomfortable with the fact that she was dating and is dating Noah Lyles. The fact is, I'm pretty happy with that. Two young people find each other, them happy. I like when people are happy. And I think what sparked off all of this was when Noah Lyles made this statement in a podcast. And I'm not sure if he was just trying to be controversial, trying to play head games, and or just wasn't thinking about what he was saying. But this set off the proverbial firestorm. This is what Noah Lyles said in that interview.
It's funny you say that, because, Janelle being Jamaican and having trained in MVP, I've been getting the drama from Jamaica in camps for at least 5 years now. There's a lot of times where I make references to Jamaicans. I'm not saying it because I'm like trying to go back and forth. It's because I know information that other people don't. And it's like Janelle and Elaine used to be very close friends. Like, they were training partners through 2021, very close. Then she was extremely close with Sharika. She's still very close with Sharika. You see her in the series doing Sharika's hair. That's Sharika's wig woman right there. She's already, she was just buying wigs for Sharika to bring to the Olympics yesterday. And even talk about like Kashane, Oblique, like, you know, she's close with Kashane. I've known about a lot of the Jamaicans that are on the underground and usually Janelle's eye for talent is very strong. If she says that somebody's going to run fast, they usually run fast. So I'm very hip to information that a lot of people is just like, oh, this came out of nowhere. No, I kind of saw it. What were you going to say, Noah?
She spoke on Kishane like pretty early, I remember. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's been this good and he just got hurt. He's about to do something crazy this weekend. And that was right before Jamaican Trust.
Yeah. And when you know, we were in the interview and they said how fast he run, I said, I hope he stays injured.
And that was just the tip of the Firestorm, people. Now, let me just say, we here at Petaloid World, myself and the crew, we are very excited to announce that we finally have our Printify store up and running with Petaloid World merchandise. Those who want to support us, go out and give us your support. We would truly appreciate it. Listen to this quick advert.
Introducing Petaloid World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Petaloid World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Petaloid World merchandise. Available exclusively at Petaloid World. Link in description below.
Now, I think what really pushed Jamaicans to the edge was when Kishane Thompson lost literally by a nose hair in the men's 100 meters, as you can see here, to none other than Noah Lyles. And Lyles has a big personality. That's a nice way of putting it. So it is natural that there was a backlash to Junelle Bromfield, because the way many Jamaicans saw it, and I think this is somewhat simplistic in terms of how they saw it, was that, well, you know, Junelle Bromfield gave Noah Lyles, I don't know, information that was exclusive, and Noah Lyles was able to use this information and therefore win the 100 meters. I suspect that's what they thought. Most of what she told Noah Lyles, I knew, and anybody in the game would have known, and it's not hard to find out. But one cannot say that Jamaicans do not have a right to be upset. Where you are is. I'm not going to say we don't have a right to be upset, but I want you to bear with me. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. I think the thing that offends me the most about all of this is the reference to this young lady's incredibly beautiful mahogany complexion. I'm confused by this, but I'm not confused by it. Growing up, I used to hear things like nothing black no good, black magic, black male. You know, many of us have heard this. And I'm in a country where I would say 3 to 8% of us bleach our skins. Now, it is natural, therefore, that a woman as beautiful as Janelle Bromfield, with her incredibly dark hue, in trying to insult her, many persons would go down that road. The road is nothing black, no good. So if it's black, it no good. And many of you don't understand that you're insulting yourselves, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your mothers, your siblings, your lovers, your friends. Most importantly, you're insulting yourself. But you see, you're victims. We're going to shift the topic just for a few seconds. Just bear with me. Did you know that Africa is the largest continent in the world? I mean, Africa is so large. And the reason why you think Africa is the size it is because of the map that many of us use, that we're taught in school. This map is unimaginably inaccurate and was clearly created by a group of people to send a message about Africa. Listen to this. This is a map we all know of Africa, about the same size as South America. But here's the thing. Here's the truth. In reality, Africa is a massive continent, and the more area accurate Peter's projection map demonstrates this. On the Mercator map, which is what I'm going to show you next, that you saw earlier, Africa is perceived to be the same size as Greenland. In truth, Greenland is no bigger than the Democratic Republic of Congo. And China, the United States, India, Mexico, and all of the Western and Eastern European countries combined could all geographically fit inside the borders of Africa. This is the real size of Africa. Now, why am I talking to you about this? I'm talking to you about this because of racism and discrimination. A lot of this behavior that we're demonstrating against Janelle Bromfield, and I say we in the English sense of the terminology, is taught behavior. Look, one, bullying is just wrong on every level. You can express what you want to feel. I get it. I get that we are passionate. I was upset that we didn't do as well at the Olympic Games as I would have wanted. But I don't believe Junelle Bromfield, people, is the reason why we didn't do as well. I mean, that might be a very simplistic and not the brightest way to look at the truth. Whatever information Janelle Bromfield would have shared with her other half is the same information I share with my wife and you share with your friends and your lovers. I don't think she shared anything particularly dangerous. Look, Kishane lost. To some of us, he won, but he was given the loss. Attacking Janelle Bromfield is not only foolish, small-minded, it's also asinine. It really is, actually. And I don't mean to be rude, but it's the truth. Janelle Bromfield could not have impacted the outcome of the entire Paris Olympic Games. She couldn't even impact the outcome of the race between Kishane and Noah Lyles. She had nothing to do with that. What you're really doing is you're reacting. You're angry, so you're lashing out at the first person. Who you're lashing out at? A fellow Jamaican. Stop doing that nonsense, man. What we do is you stumble, you learn, you correct those mistakes and you move forward. I'm not quite sure what you're getting from doing that. But the part that really offends me is referencing her color, the most beautiful color on the planet, as being something negative. My mother is that color. My dad is that color. My grandparents are that color. I'm sure that 99.99% of you wrote some of those comments, I didn't even bother to write them. That's exactly what you look like. What are you saying? Are you saying something is wrong with you? Listen to me. You are victims of an entire system designed to tell you that you are not as great as you are. You know, I brought up Africa. You realize how big Africa is? If they could lie to you about the size of Africa, and that, you heard what they said? North America, almost every country on earth could fit into Africa. What wouldn't they lie to you about? Africa is greatness, people. In every sense. And people who look like that are descendants of greatness. One, I would not advise you bully people, because if somebody does that to you, you're not going to enjoy it. As I said, you're lashing out, you're trying to find someone to blame, and you're blaming this little girl. Grow up, stop your nonsense. I want to know better. I call you royals because I know you know better. And I can forgive you, we all make mistakes. But what you really have to ask yourself is, how can insulting this beautiful mahogany hue, which you look like, which I look like, where we all look like, how can that be considered an insult? Aren't you saying that you're insulting yourself and your ancestry? Don't you understand that? We're in 2024. The information is out there. I know that there are a generation of us who grew up watching the most ridiculous thing. Tarzan, this person who comes to Africa, and somehow all the animals talk and listen to him. And we grew up watching Western images where the certain people, they were the good guys and everybody else was the bad guy. And I understand that we are still inundated with these images on a day-to-day basis. But let me tell you something. Everything started and came from Africa. Everything. I can prove this. You can go find the research. Whatever your reason, don't offend yourself. Don't offend your mother, your father, your siblings, your cousins, your lovers, your aunts, your friends, your ancestors by attempting to tell her that her hue is a problem because her blackness is an issue. Are you nuts? You don't have respect for yourself. You don't respect yourself. We're not on a plantation anymore. You're people. Stop allowing the slave master to manipulate you. Stop it. Don't insult yourself. Don't insult our country. Don't insult our ancestors. Don't insult your own mothers, your siblings, and most of all, do not insult the person that you're looking at in that mirror. I have nothing against any other group of people. I really don't. And I understand, as I said, why you're lashing out, but it's a bit asinine. As I said, Janelle Bromfield could not have impacted what happened at the Paris Olympic Games. First, stop this behavior. Stop. Secondly, if you're going to insult, please don't do that. Don't insult yourselves. Don't do that. That's just wrong on every level. Understand that you are saying these things because you've been manipulated your entire lives. We've been manipulated for centuries to think that people who look like us are inferior. Look, we built the pyramids here. We were the first persons to have universities. We taught the world to be civilized. You might not know this, but Africa never went through a stone age. That is how incredible we are. I'm not comparing us to any other groups of people, because the truth is the very concept of race was invented about 400 years ago by a group of Europeans who wanted to find a way to justify stealing people's wealth, land, and making them slaves. The information is there. Don't do that to yourselves. I love the Wolana. So I would rather you not do that. I get that you're upset, but Janelle Bromfield is not why we had the results in Paris. We had the results in Paris because there was a lot of injury, and we need to learn the lessons so that it never happens again. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, also the like button, and please support us. We will leave the link in the description below for our Printify. Bless up!